we stopped to wait on you because we figured you'd be back. So I didn't know if it would be recording or what.
Yeah, it broke up the first one, so then I started recording again, so now it's putting them both together.
Okay.
Okay, so talking about the legal issues still.
They're both beliefs, I guess. I'm losing them. Let's see.
I can still see you.
Okay. I can't see Michelle though. Can you see all of us?
I can.
Okay. Well, my thing was that they are both beliefs, and so I guess the boy came across it wrong the way he did it. But I was just wondering how it would have been if he would have planned it too, because he did mention the word, or the principal said something about religion, so it made it so they were separate, but they both were sort of beliefs, I think, because I don't know, that would have been difficult.
And it's so hard with like the media and everything nowadays, as soon as it goes to the media, it's like they blow it up into this huge, even though they're both beliefs, but where do you draw the line?
Right. And if he was disrupting school, he was doing it the wrong way. He was going against the rules of what he was told. So I that point of where he was disciplined. So he shouldn't have been disrespectful and not follow the rules and made a scene at school. So
yeah, I totally agree. I wondered too, like if he would have went about it the same way as the other one, would it have been allowed or not?
I also wonder though if the principal was from that area, because normally your principal should be pretty aware of the community already.
Right.
If they knew that this was a very religious area and the demographics there, they should have been sensitive to what type of punishment or how it should have been carried out. Not saying that the boy shouldn't have been punished at all, but I'm just kind of surprised that the principal didn't think about that before she made the comments that she did, and then the 3 days of suspension.
I think that probably happens frequently. Like, as far as disciplining and not knowing, I don't know, is that like profiling kind of? I mean, I don't know. Do you discipline differently just because of where they're from? I don't know.
Well, like I know at our school, I come from, I'm in an area where we have a lot of transient population here. And like they like to have out of school suspension. Like they don't want to be in school. So like we don't give a lot of out of school suspension because that's what the kid wants. But it's not like for everyone in our school. So depending on like who the student is, our principal needs to know like which student, you know what I mean? So like some kids do get out of school suspension, others get in school suspension because that's more of a punishment for them.
Because they don't get to go home and play video games.
Yeah, right.
So, in a way, I see both ways of it, but I don't know. I feel like, especially if you're supposed to be so involved in communicating with your leaders in your community, I felt like you should probably know a little bit of what their beliefs are before you started making statements, because the statements that the principal made weren't about the actions of the student. It was more of the religious part of it.
I noticed that too. That's what I was thinking.
Had you all ever heard of queer theory? I felt like I was like new to that, and I was like, what?
I thought that still was not a very nice word, to say, or it was derogatory.
This was all super new to me. Like, I had never heard of any of this stuff.
No.
A big problem at my school right now that we're having is more so like kids self-harming themselves because they don't feel like they're good enough and for whatever reason. But that's like one of the biggest things we're struggling with. So this was all, we haven't gotten here yet.
Right.
It's interesting you say that because we have a lot of elementary school kids that are coming this week to visit, and their counselor was telling us about there's a big caseload of children that are cutting themselves. And like we saw some of the girls, and they were wearing shorts today, and there had to be like 50 cuts on one leg. It was outrageous. And I was like, as elementary school, you would not think that they'd have those issues.
What grade was that?
Those were fifth graders coming up.
That's what grade I teach. And that's what we're struggling with. You know, we had one of mine, she was doing it in class, just to her wrist. I mean, probably 20, pretty deep, not to the point of bleeding, but.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So that's what we're really struggling. It's from that documentary on Netflix about like the 10 reasons or something.
Oh, 13 Reasons Why?
Yep.
Oh, well, I haven't seen it, but my kids have obviously seen it, and they were reading the book, but the book has been out for like ever. But I guess now that it's
I didn't know there was a book.
Yes, because some of my kids are like, "Don't we have this book?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've never read it. I've seen it on the shelf for a few years." But that makes sense.
I didn't even know there was a book. It's been all based on the documentary on Netflix for us, so.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. Oh, goodness. No.
Well, essentially, it's about this girl that killed herself, and she's blaming, like, these 13 other people in her school. And it's just, like, a death thing. It's really a sad scenario, and
yeah.
You know, that really watching.
Yeah, my daughter's in 5th grade, so I mean, she's not saying anything about that, but that's just amazing to me that she's just playing basketball right now, and I mean, that's not something she thinks about right now, you know. But that's
I've never had a class or even like a student that's as different as these that I've had this year. Like, it's been so eye-opening, and just, it's scary. It's scary.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Okay, what were the last questions? Let's see. Additional information, and how would that have had bearing on the outcome?
I just put, like, was Blake being disruptive and disturbing the school day? Was either group forcing their cars on anyone? Was either group being disrespectful of anyone's rights or feelings? And the first group didn't sound like that. They just sounded like they were handing things out, but it sounded like that boy just was forcing it and handing it to the people that were doing the day of silence the day before. So I think if they would have punished the action of him being disruptive and being forceful instead of just handing it out. But they said that it was the religion. I think it's what, I don't know.
Yeah, and like Michaela said, we needed more information on like the policy for the shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Because there wasn't, you know, because that could have been a punishment, an additional punishment.
Well, and I felt like that probably kick-started what happened the rest of the day. Because if you think about it, like, if you tell somebody, especially high schooler, no, or like you're telling them you can't think and feel that way, then they become like more boisterous. And so I wonder, with the principal, she came out in the public saying it was because of religious views that he was pushing. I would imagine that the principal also said that to the boy, and that's probably what made the situation blow up even more, where he might have been yelling and being disrespectful in the hallway.
Yeah.
I wanted to know like, what was said.
Well, when I think it wasn't being fair, because they got to do their thing the day before, and they were just he was trying to do his the next day, and didn't get a chance to. So, and when you think, especially high schoolers, when they don't think it's not being fair, then they're
like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to have the right tone to talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so for next week, Michaela, thank you for making that document about like the Zoom groups and stuff. Yeah, I was able to get it. I added today the document from MELS-601, how to make a Zoom account once you know how to do that, but how to record and everything, and then how to upload it to YouTube, because I know Rebecca and Kylie had asked about hosting and stuff. So I added that to the second and third pages, so you can go read the instructions. That's how I learned to do it from 601.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. I guess it's sort of like the other recordings that we've done. It's just I'm just the host, and I send out the invitation, I guess. I have it ready.
You have to create the meeting, and then it tells you, it just says copy invitation. And I always just copy it and paste it into an email.
Okay.
And then it'll come on, and then you can hit record, like, once we start talking about the case study.
Okay.
And then you just upload to YouTube. Wait. Is she frozen?
Oh, no.
You're frozen.
I'm used to holding still. No, I'm just kidding. So, like, when we have a discussion board, do we need to meet about that too?
Because it was in red. I noticed that. I was like, that part was in red. Because it said Zoom groups are in red, but then next week, I don't have it in front of me, but one week it doesn't really say in a Zoom group.
Because there's really only 2 Zoom groups left if it's just on case studies. But if we have to make Zoom things for, like, the discussion boards too, I didn't know. Do y'all know?
I don't know. I haven't even looked that far ahead. You guys are ahead of me. I did read that it said that all Zoom stuff was in red, though.
Yeah, but like next week, it just says something about. It doesn't really say anything about a case study or anything like that. I don't have it. I don't have my syllabus with me, so.
I'm opening it right now, so I can look.
For next week, let's see. It says. Oh. We might want to add to this Zoom. I see it says discuss a resolution for our case study this week. So we might want to add that in there. But next week it says submit and revise peer-reviewed OMA Task 1 narrative to Blackboard.
Which is, I mean, that's like the peer reviews we've been doing for 601 and 602. Mm-hmm. Like we submit it to the discussion board, I guess, this week. And then you do the peer review documents or the checklist rubric thing. And then we talk about it in a Zoom session.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I don't know about week 4. Submit Blackboard draft. Oh, I guess we just submit our feedback templates and how you revise that task. So we don't have another case study till week 5. Mm-hmm. So the end of the month.
Okay.
So I think just like every 2 weeks, and then we have a week off, maybe, because we have to do the peer reviews. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, well, I will send you guys this link as soon as I'll send you, it'll be 2 separate links since I got kicked off.
Okay.
And we can just submit them both.
All right. Okay. Great. Have a good week.
Have a good weekend, Alma.
Rest of the week, yeah. Okay, it's not Monday.
It's Thursday. Thank goodness.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.